Hey, what's going on, guys? We got a special guest today. We have Wayne Altman. He's the founder of Melody Cloud. Wayne, how are we doing today?
I am fantastic, Jordan. Thank you very much for asking.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you here and
Good to
really
be here.
hear your whole story. So, where does your story begin?
Um, really, it begins, a few years ago. I've served in the military for 8 years,
Okay,
and one of
thank you for
the
your service.
well, I was glad to do it. I love being in the Army, but it left me with a great deal of hearing loss and a condition known as tinnitus. It's a ringing in the ear, and in my case, it is a very loud and very constant ringing.
Yeah,
It manifests itself differently in just about everybody. So it's kind of hard to nail down, and there is no cure. Well, I came across binaural beats and solfeggio frequencies that counteract, and finally, after like 20 years, gave me the ability to hear silence. I never thought about hearing silence before, but I could actually be in a quiet place.
yeah.
And that is what started me in looking at solfeggio and binaural beats and guided meditations, and really got me interested in that. And that is what made Melody Clouds.
Wow. Where did this? What's usually the cause? Let's just move back a little bit. So for tinnitus, what's the cause of that? Is it like explosions? Like I have no.
It can be loud music. Loud noises damage the nerves in your ears. And that is
Okay.
why it's different in every single person. So if you got it from loud, in my case, it was explosions.
Yeah.
I was with the 8th Engineers, and we did a lot of bridge blowing up and stuff. And but also music. I was just like everybody else. I listened to headphones and music really loud, but everyone's hearing is damaged a little bit differently. Some people hear like a whooshing sound, and some people hear a ping. In my case, it's like a screeching noise. And it is really annoying. Right now, I can hear that ringing going on in my ears. The only time I don't is when I'm listening to something with that solfeggio frequency.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And when did this start for you?
So I started noticing it probably about 10 years after I got out of the military. It started getting really bad. And there are triggers to this too. So if you drink caffeinated beverages, or if you use some kind of stimulant, that tends, in my case, it tends to make it worse still.
Really?
So if I have a cup of coffee in the morning, or if I have a Diet Coke or something like that, I can count on being able to hear, screeching for the rest of the day. Yeah.
Wow.
Not that it stops me, mind you.
No, you just keep pushing through.
Yeah, you really do. You learn to adapt. And in the case with this, I have found something that actually gives me that peace. And I also figured out that it does way more things than that. I mean, we'll get into that, but these frequencies have way more capabilities than I even knew.
Absolutely. So let's start off with what's the difference between the binaural beat and the solfeggio beat?
Okay, so that's great. I'm glad you asked me that, because I got asked this a lot. So solfeggio was designed or discovered in the 11th century by a monk. And if you've ever listened to a instrument that's out of tune, that's basically the kind of explanation of solfeggio: tuning that instrument, getting that tone. So there are 6 tones, and those tones are what gets us back in tune. Binaural beat is a combination of 2 tones, and your brain then it's an introduction of 2 tones or frequencies. Your brain creates an entirely different frequency, and that causes healing or focus or removes grief. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of this, but grief is a frequency, brainwave frequency. And so with a binaural beat, you're able to block someone's grief briefly while they're listening to the beat, but you are able to block someone's grief. If you're going through a divorce, or if you're going through a death in the family, PTSD, it is extremely effective in treating PTSD.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Once you get into how, but you know what? It makes perfect sense. Let's say you have someone that's injured, right?
Yeah.
What do? We take them and we put them in a hospital. We do that for a reason. That allowing someone a safe, warm, place to heal, your brain is then able to allocate resources and speed your healing. You don't leave someone laying out in the elements on a street corner or something and expect them to heal from their injuries. Not only are they exposed to elements, but their brain is allocating survival. The resources to heal will be just towards survival. So we put them in a hospital and we keep them safe and warm, and their brain is then able to relax, allocate those resources, and the healing process becomes much quicker.
Wow. So these binaural beats and solfeggio beats, is it just like one binaural beat, or is it like, are there multiple? How does that work?
No, there are literally, I'm glad you're asking the right questions, man. You are asking the right questions. Okay. So let's say have you ever heard someone say, oh, he's in the zone?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. That is a focus. They are focused, and you can recreate the zone for someone. You can get them, you can introduce binaural beats, their brains, brain waves will concentrate, and you can actually recreate that focus for someone. Or sleep. A lot of people that come to me have a hard time sleeping. And the benefits from sleeping with a solfeggio or a binaural beat is enormous, because your only other option is drug. Taking an Ambien, taking, melatonin, taking, something that may be addictive or may make you have side effects that you do not want. So being able to introduce music and introduce a binaural beat to someone, drop them like a sack of potatoes with zero side effects, is something that it's really, amazing. It's very cool.
It's absolutely incredible, because I know people listening have it's a multitude of everyone, like, that have sleeping problems, that have a newborn and their baby just won't stop sleeping, won't stop crying, throughout the night. And with all these different areas, it's really interesting that just we overcomplex it. Like, we make it too much. We make it much more than it needs to be. And like, it seems, am I wrong saying that just the sound?
100% no, 100% no. And we were talking about infants. One of the things that we did at Melody Clouds is I have hundreds of lullabies, and I cut those tracks 20 hours long, and I did it for a reason. So you take someone that has a brand new infant, and they have not yet learned to self-soothe. And any parent knows that that is a learned skill. Being able to wake up in the middle of the night and get yourself back to sleep is actually a learned experience.
Yeah.
What we've done with Melody Clouds is I've cut these lullabies to 20 hours. Now, no one's going to expect their infant to sleep for 20 hours. You don't want that to happen. But you put the baby down, that lullaby is still playing. They wake up in the middle of the night, hear the same music that they heard when they went to sleep, and very, very quickly, they learn to self-soothe and get themselves back to sleep. And to a parent, anybody out there listening that just had a baby, they will know that that is gold. That is absolutely the number one thing that you want your child to learn. Yeah. And I will say this, I got to tell you a story. So I play golf with a couple of knuckleheads, and we travel around the country and we play these different golf courses. And one of my buddies that I always have to room with, he takes Ambien, or took Ambien to kind of get himself back to sleep. But we were having to lock the hotel room, or we were having to, really watch him when he would take an Ambien, because he would wake up in the middle of the night, sleepwalk, do all kinds of really weird stuff. And I was like, look, I gotta introduce him to this, because this is not cool. Walking down the street in your pajamas because you took, some kind of medication, that ain't cool.
No, that's scary.
Yeah.
So did he use the
he does now? Absolutely. And like I said, that's one of the things that impressed me the most about this, because like I said, look, just like with anything else, I will not say that it works for everyone. I haven't tested everyone, but I will say this: everyone that I have, been in contact with, they can listen to a binaural beat to help them sleep, and they knock out. It's like turning a light off. Very quickly, their brain will, if you've ever laid awake at night and your thoughts are just racing, that binaural beat will focus your thought to REM sleep, and you just knock out.
So that's fascinating, because I know there's many people who get anxiety and they're thinking about the future, or they get depression and they're thinking about the past. And it's this constant, when you really simplify it, it's a thought. It's a thought that goes on in your head. It's a mindset. And if these beats can really deviate that headspace,
if you can interrupt,
you're looking at a massive
take a break.
Area.
I know that you're hurting. I know that you have, I know that you have a grief, something bad has happened. But if you can give that person a break, think of all the people that really, they hurt themselves, or they, you know what I mean? If you can stop and say, listen, we're going to give you a break for an hour. You're hurting too much. And, look, one of the things too, people ask all the time, this sounds too good to be true, or look, every single person listening to this knows that when you walk into a movie or when you watch a television show, that soundtrack tells you, the soundtrack to the movie tells you exactly what you're supposed to do or feel about what you're watching. So if you're watching Freddy Krueger, if you're watching Jason run around, or people going through a haunted house, and you hear that music, that's your cue to be scared. Even though you're sitting in the living room with a bowl of popcorn on your lap, you feel the fear.
Yeah.
The same thing, or joy, or elation. Top Gun. If you watch Top Gun, every single person in that theater felt the patriotism. They felt the pride. They felt excited and exhilarated when Tom Cruise is shooting down, planes. You're in a movie theater. Okay, you got a Diet Coke next to you. Why are you feeling that? You see what I mean?
Because
of
the
that
music.
Soundtrack. That music is giving you the clues. Do you know that in the history of movie making, there are only about 12 movies that do not have a musical score, a musical soundtrack?
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds is one of them. And the movie studio was really upset with Alfred Hitchcock because he did not add a musical score.
Yeah.
He cheated, because the birds and the ambient sound really are what made the score. So it did have one, but it wasn't music. But Wall-E, the cartoon robot.
Yeah.
People sat in a theater and watched that robot for an hour and 40 minutes before the first word was spoken.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That music, even small children would sit there and watch it, because they knew what they were supposed to feel while they were watching that robot do whatever he was doing, whether it was love between the other robot, or whether it was, the loneliness. We all felt that.
Yeah.
So this works. What I'm saying is, we've known it from the day you were born.
But no one's, but it's never
don't
really
think
been
of it.
utilized.
Right. Most people do not even, they take it for granted. They don't even realize that it's being done to them.
And even when you think about it, like you go to a sports stadium, loud music, you're playing, you're
100%.
dancing, YMCA, like everyone's
Yeah.
having fun and it's a vibe because of that specific song, or you
100%.
like these people. So even when anybody listens to music, it's to change their internal how they're feeling, essentially. Or you have some country songs that make you sad. Like
Yes. Yes. I was just going to point that out. And look at it from even a religious point of view. So if you go into one church, you're going to know that the organist is playing a dirge. It's a very sad, very somber, very reverential, and that's the headspace you get into. You physically feel that reverence going into that church. However, go to some of the churches in the South where you've got a choir that's singing and welcoming everyone in, and you immediately get this uplifting, this praise music is going on. Even if you are a non-believer, you feel that feeling of, euphoria, that euphoric feeling of, that praise music.
absolutely.
So, yeah, there's no question. Everyone knows now we're on the same sheet of music. Everyone knows that this actually works and is beneficial.
So what exactly is Melody Clouds then?
So I have combined a number of things. It's a number of things. I have combined a bunch of things together. It's a place where people can go and get that healing if that's really what they're after. They can go and listen to guided meditations and take a moment out of their day and really get their head back into the proper space. Our tag is take charge of your mood. So if you're angry, come listen to some music and let's fix that. If you're sad, we can fix that. If you're happy and you want to stay happy, we can help that too. But if you want to be read to, I just added 17,000 audiobooks in 46 languages, because we are right now 210 languages on the website. We're in about 149 countries. As you and I sit here right now, don't worry, I'm going to get to everybody. Right now, we're just, this is where we are today.
And when did this start?
A month ago. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. And June 1st, I bought the domain Melody Clouds. So, excuse me, but, and I've done it. And I was telling you before this, I listen every morning to my focus binaural beat. And it really works for me. It really helps focus me and get me in the proper space to say, all right, these are the tasks for my day. This is what I need to do today.
It's like Tony Robbins has the priming. It's the same idea where you listen to the music.
Yeah.
I mean, and this is something that a lot of people have missed is when you were in high school, you would listen to music to get pumped up for a football game or a basketball game or anything, or doing ballet or going on whatever it is. We never pump up ourselves to go to work. We never pump up ourselves to get in the zone. So I think that's one of the coolest attributes of it, is that it helps you get focused and ready for the day, because there's so many people who are leisurely just living life. And if this can be the wake up call to go, okay, let's get in the zone and like see how much output we can really bring today by listening to this focus beat, it can make a difference.
It makes a huge difference. You get way more accomplished throughout the day. You treat one another completely better. You stop being a victim of your mood, whatever other people are doing. No. You're taking charge of your mood. I am not, you want me to be angry? I'm not going to be angry, because I have the ability, I have the tools to prevent that from happening. If I need to concentrate right now, so I'm going to put my headphones in. I'm going to listen to 30 minutes or so of a very focused binaural beat. It's going to help me to focus and get way more accomplished throughout the day. When you go to work out, You do not, most of us listen to some like rock music,
Yeah.
Metallica, AC/DC. I mean, something that's really going to give us a good, a good workout.
Yeah.
You do not listen to, or, something that's upbeat, at the very least. You're not going to listen to some very sad, plodding
Mundane.
music.
Yeah.
That is best used for being calmed, for calming yourself down. Hey, which, by the way, we just added 800 hours of nature sounds. Some with solfeggio and binaural beats, some that are just the, rushing river or lightning storm. I like listening to that too. I live in Southern California. We don't get weather. So I like to listen, at least have the opportunity to listen to weather from time to time.
Pretend that the weather's coming in.
Pretend that I have weather here. Yeah.
So let's dive into it a little bit more. So Melody Cloud, how would I get this at? Like, is it an app? Is it on a website? Like, where is it? What's going on?
Okay. So I am extremely excited. You probably can tell I'm very excited because we are about to release our iOS app and our Android app. And by the way, to all of my subscribers that are listening, this is very exciting for you because if you subscribe to Melody Clouds, you get the app. There is no, I'm not adding anything. I'm not raising anybody's price, but we have probably one. I am extremely proud of this app. It is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. And within the next 14 days or so, we are going to be, it's in beta right now. It looks great. It performs great. And all I have to do is press a button and we're going to release that. Now, for the time being, people go to the website, melodyclouds.com. And I've done a very special offer. It's $2.99 to try it for 60 days, $2.99, try it for 60 days. If you like it, it's $5.99 per month after that. And that price is not going to go up on my members. I have something against that. You know what I mean? This is something that I'm going to, I don't like that. And I priced it to be under a gallon of gas. I went in California, man, a gallon of gas. So, and that's what we're going to do. And then once the app is released in about 14 days, then we're going to, we'll take another look at it. But right now, as we speak, it's $2.99 for the first 60 days. I'm giving people 60 days to decide whether they like it and whether they will use it, because those are two different things. You may like something, but feel like, well, I just won't get any use out of it. I know that once people are exposed to this, they do find that they use it a lot more than they think they will.
Yeah, because I mean, in reality, we listen to music or podcast or any sort of audio majority of the day. We're moving to the audio generation, and with that comes, I mean, a lot of people have music on in the background or something on in the background. So if there's just a peaceful sound that allows you to feel better about yourself or feeling more in the zone or more in the place, why not? You know what I mean? It provides a very interesting opportunity because like, who would you say this is really for? Because right now we've covered a lot.
I'm telling you, I honestly believe, I don't know that there's a segment of people that I'm talking to that this wouldn't be. I mean, think about this. So I have 3,000 children's stories. Children love to be read to. I love to be read to. So there's 17,000 audiobooks in 46 languages. And I'll tell you something funny. So I was listening to all of these things for quality. I want to make sure that I'm giving people something for quality. And I was listening to Tom Sawyer. So Samuel Clemens, Tom Sawyer, right, in German. And my daughter came in. She's like, "Daddy, what's going on?" And she sounds so angry. And it was hilarious. I said, "Look, that's German. It's Tom Sawyer in German." But 17,000 audiobooks. There are 8,000 hours of binaural beats, nature sounds, lullabies. I don't know that, there's, and by the way, very shortly, we'll be adding 30 some thousand regular books. So whether you want to be read to with an audiobook, a lot of people love being read to, or whether you like to do the reading yourself, Melody Clouds has you covered on both of those fronts. So there'll be 30,000 books. There's a special player on both the iOS app, Android app, and on the website. But there's right now, as I'm speaking, there's over 17,000 audiobooks, so you can be read to. Some of those have solfeggio frequencies embedded in them. So you're going to get the same effects, all searchable by author, by genre, by date.
And what type of books do you have?
So I have the complete works of Edgar Allan Poe, the complete work of all of the classics, Frankenstein, Dracula, Wuthering Heights. I have all of the classics are there. And then there are a lot of authors that most of your listeners may not have ever been exposed to. And so many subjects. There's like 1,300 different subjects. So it's really, when I say it's too much to mention here, there's a lot of books there.
Because what I was going to say, what's really interesting about this is, like, if you really think about it, like the first year, it's like $3 and then $6 a month. You're looking at less than $100.
Right.
And a book nowadays is like $25, $30. So if you buy 4 books, I mean, and this is books for your kids, books for yourself, like there is a lot of value that you're providing here for this.
I will say this too, and thank you for mentioning that, and thank you for reminding me. I will say this too, that there are some of us that do not like the subscription-based model. I have you covered. It's $59 per year. So if you want to make just one payment per year, $59. So to your point, you're exactly right. So for the cost of a couple books, you can do it, have a subscription for a year. And then I also have a lifetime membership. Lifetime, and we've sold some, but a lifetime membership right now is $299, $299 for a lifetime membership, and we plan to be here for a very long time.
And so for you, Wayne, what is giving you such like confidence and excitement about this idea? Like, I mean, it's fairly new. It's also, I mean, it's gaining steam very quickly. Like, to get 1,000 people in the first month is like, that's impressive.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are very well. Look, number one, it's this subject. You are going to be hearing a lot more about this subject, not just from me, but from others that are in this space, and that's great. I mean, being able to bring something to people, I think that should be everyone's goal. Being able to, have something of value to offer to others, that to me seems like a very worthy reason for being. Just me. And finally, at 54 years old, I have something that I can offer to people.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's a lot of people that end up not figuring out what it is for them, and for yourself, it's incredible that you found something that literally satisfies that itch that most are looking for. And the really cool thing about this, and the thing I found most interesting doing my research beforehand and then just kind of getting into this, is the fact that we're doing this, like, we're already listening to music, but we don't do it intentionally. We're not doing it with the idea of, hey, this is going to help me feel better. Like, because I know a lot of people who have depression and anxiety and mental illness, like, they're struggling because it's a huge concept nowadays. And if there is a way to fix that without any repercussions, because it's, okay, I spent 30 minutes listening to the music and this isn't my binaural beat, sure, go find another one.
Well, I tell you what, let me flip that around. So let's say that you're sitting there and you are wondering, why am I so depressed? Why do I feel so bad? Yeah. And then you realize, oh, you know what? There's something that, number one, there's something to help me, but I've been my own worst enemy. I have been listening to a lot of negative things. I got people all the time saying negative stuff. Maybe I need to do something about that. maybe I need to not listen to the music that I was listening to before in favor of something that's going to be more edifying, that's going to help my moods. In other words, what I'm saying is take charge of your mood, take charge, and how you present yourself to others. You know, these are things that you really need to, think about, be purposeful. How's that?
Yeah.
Mindfulness,
No,
be purposeful.
no, you're exactly right. And it's something that I've always focused on, intentionality. Like, basically, I have a goal. Am I moving towards that area? Am I doing the right things? And I think for a lot of us, living intentionally is like what had me start with the whole Edwards consulting thing. Like, it's got 5 pillars. It's mental health, physical health, community service, philanthropy, relationships, and spirituality. And you check those on a monthly, weekly, yearly
How am I
basis,
doing?
whatever it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
how am I doing? And so if this is just a tool that can be in your tool chest, which it seems like Melody Clouds could be just in addition, you know what I mean? Like, for me, learning, I do these podcasts with people. That's a way I learn. This is a way that I utilize the tool. If I could add this software that's just downloadable on the phone to my Rolodex, it could be like a mood enhancer. It can make you feel better. It can make you do that. Like, and it's just really interesting because I've never thought, like, before talking to you, Wayne, I've never looked at music with this lens. I've never looked
Well,
at sounds with this lens.
I will tell you one thing, and I do this a lot. I talk to a lot of people. I go on, interviewed podcasts, especially the last few months or so. You are extraordinary at what you do. You personally, you are
Oh,
very, very good at what you do. And, that makes me feel very good you saying that. Let me just say that because I recognize talent. I recognize people who are good at what they do. The questions that you ask me, the interest that you show, I mean, it really comes through, Jordan, seriously. And I
I
very much appreciate it, man. I mean, it makes it very easy. So, kudos to you, to providing people a platform to come to you and have these conversations, and B, being, being as good as you are. I don't want to sound like I'm, but being as good as you are at what you're doing, because you are good at it, dude.
I appreciate that, Wayne.
Yeah, no
That's
problem.
awesome. That's awesome. I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
But again, it's with consistent action, and it takes a little bit of time, and anybody can get good at something as long as they continually practice and work towards it. And it sounds very similar to what you did trying to solve your issue. You wanted to get rid of the ringing sound.
Yeah,
You worked
you and
consistently to
see where it
find it, and then you
leads.
share
Right.
the story.
100%. See where that leads. Stop. Really, again, take charge of your mood. I mean, I looked at this and went, wait, this actually helped me. I can't believe that I'm hearing nothing. I got so excited about hearing absolutely nothing. And then I realized, okay, let's see if this applies to other things. Let's see if I can get myself in the zone. And, come to find out, I can put myself in the zone. Or let's see if I can, knock myself out. There are frequencies, and again, not every frequency works the same way for everyone.
Yeah.
Neither does it. You name the drug. Neither does Paxil or Ambien or Prozac. No, none of these drugs work the same way in everyone. They got a list of side effects that are a mile long, and some of them are frightening. Okay, this has no, this has no side effect. You've been listening to music your entire life, and the only effect it's had is, I meet very, very few people that don't like music. Very few people.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's the sound, it's the everything. And then for you, Wayne, who is there concern that they're the ownership of the music? Who has the music ownership? Who has the books? Who's got all that?
Yeah, I own every bit of it. I own every bit of everything that's on Melody Clouds, and I did it specifically. And one of those things was I was only going to put things that I did not have to license.
Yeah.
I only wanted things that I was not going to have to license. That's very important. So if you've got any budding entrepreneurs out there, one of my best pieces of advice would be you buy things or you utilize things first that you don't have to license from other people. That's number one. That's the first thing. You want to own whatever property. And then that way, and one of the reasons, I'll be honest with you, that's one of the reasons that, look, I know that this service, I'm not charging people an arm and a leg for the service. And that is mindful. I am doing that on purpose. I am purposely not charging what this service is worth. There are other services out there that are charging double what I'm charging. I know that.
Yeah.
So anyone questioning whether or not I'm doing this to help people or to help my pocket, both are true, but help people is number one, because I could charge way more than what I'm charging.
Yeah.
And I don't mean, that sounded kind of angry,
No,
but I didn't mean it.
No.
I just want that
the
point to be made.
Yeah, I mean, the really interesting thing is like $3 for the first 60 days and then $6 a month. Like, I go out to lunch and it's $15, and that's me like trying to conserve a penny.
And I wanted to make this affordable for as many people as I possibly could.
Yeah.
And I'm also open to partnerships and stuff. We're going to be announcing some partnerships coming up very shortly. Very shortly. We'll be announcing some partnerships. I want to make sure that the people that really could use this have access to it. That is my commitment. I am going to make a concerted effort to continue to make this as accessible as I possibly can.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wayne, it's incredible what you're doing. It's incredible the progress you've made. Is there any final comments you want to make?
All I would say is, there are a lot of people out there that are questioning whether or not they want to pursue whatever it is, what their dream,
Yeah.
And there are a lot of, and I want to send a special message to people that are haters. Okay. It ain't working. Okay. There are a lot of people that would like to say, no, I don't hear that word. To me, it sounds like when you say that, I want you to know that I don't hear it, and there's not a binaural beat or a solfeggio that's going to help that. So I hope that others will take that away. It will help them stop hearing the word no, and things will open up for you. Things will start improving.
Yeah, and I mean the really incredible thing is, like you mentioned earlier, like you're 54 years old and you just started a new business. Mm-hmm. What? I thought you had to be in your zone, stay in your lane, like, you know what I mean? And we're in a world where anybody can create anything, and let this be your token of possibility that you can start it, and it doesn't have to be big at first. Nothing's big at first.
Everything starts from a seed. Everything starts from a starting point. I mean, you're witnessing, maybe you're witnessing something that is going to just revolutionize the way people think. And I realize that, and I don't want to take not at the risk of sounding self-important or whatever, but look, every single business, Facebook, whatever, Apple started in a garage. These everything starts from somewhere. Nothing has ever started from where they were. That shows no growth. So yeah, you're exactly right.
Absolutely. So I hope everyone takes this and looks inside themselves and figures out whatever they want to do, whatever they want to work on. And that could literally be setting up a book club. It can be anything. As long as you're starting a crew. So Wayne, where can people find you? Obviously we got Melody Clouds website. Where else?
Yep, melodyclouds.com. That's really where I'm, my main focus for people. They can also reach me at Wayne Altman at melodyclouds.com if they have any questions about that. I mean, think of the reach we have now. Think of the reach. You have worldwide reach. Sometime you and I need to get together, I want to show you the analytics, the back end of this, and show you the number of countries that we're in, and how many, what the response is. I can track so much now. The other businesses, number one, they don't even think of doing, and I'm a big numbers analytics guy, right?
Yeah.
So if people knew the power that they have in the palm of their hand or sitting on their desk at home, I think this world would be way different than it is right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to realize the impact you can have on
You can have
different
a
people.
massive impact.
Incredible, Wayne. I appreciate the time and thank
Me
you
too.
for coming on.
Thank you very much, Jordan. I appreciate it.